Dr. Nicolas Felix, policy analyst, economist, and entrepreneur. He's reaching us. We're happy that you can join us from New York. Good morning to you.
Good morning, sir. Good to be here.
Indeed, my pleasure. Could I take your initial take on the news? It caught everybody unawares, I imagine, unless you people have some inside information. But fuel subsidy that we were sort of, girding our loins that in June, things are going to start to be tight. Federal government is now saying, don't worry. But Mr. President wasn't in agreement. But, that is still the federal government policy. Tell me your take.
First of all, thank you again for having me this morning. And you can see I'm smiling because that is great news coming. 2 weeks ago, I was on Silver Bear TV talking about the subsidy remover. I was seriously against it. So to hear this news gladdens my heart. In as much as we say it's because of 2023 election, I don't see that to be anything bad. Can you imagine that everything the government do, they do it just because of to be re-elected? I think we'll have a better Nigeria today. So if they suspend the subsidy remover just because of 2023 election, because they want to be re-elected, there's nothing wrong with that. That's politics for you. Just imagine if that becomes the norm in Nigeria. If they decide to go ahead and get banditry out of the way, construct our roads, open our refineries, all because they want to be re-elected, in 10 years, Nigeria will be a great nation. So even that's the excuse, I still congratulate them, and I'm happy that the subsidy removal has been suspended.
So let me come back to Bala Zaka in studio then. First, Dr. Felix. Well, as you can hear, Engineer Bala Zaka, quite frankly, he's not impressed with the advisors and technocrats that are surrounding the seat of power. I was suggesting
those that were supporting the removal of subsidy.
Okay, I was suggesting that, look, even if he is right, then they might have been calling it by their own lights. It might not be anybody else's lights, but they might have been calling it by their own lights. But Bala goes beyond that to say that, look, he's so angry, he would consider disciplinary measure if he had the power. Your take on that whole matter about how we arrived at where we were?
Now, once again, I'm glad that the subsidy removal has been suspended, but that's just a temporary solution. That's just to put a halt to the hunger they would have caused in the land, especially coming towards the 2023 election. That would have been a great avenue for Nigerians to be selling their vote. Talking about disciplinary measure, I think for us as Nigerians, the only thing we can do right now is to get rid of these guys when 2023 election come in. These leaders we have been electing, or we say that have been taking over power, they have been, causing inflation in Nigeria, causing hunger in the land. Everything has gone up. Bag of rice has gone up. Food has gone up. Do we need to talk about the insecurity in the land? Banditry killing people every day. There is no single day Nigerians are not dying in the hands of these people. And it's not a concern to them. The only time they think about is to remove subsidy, increase fuel. 3 times Muhammad Buhari administration has increased fuel price. May I just throw this in? It's amazing. I saw recently that from 1993 to 1998, for 5 years, General Sani Abacha did not increase fuel price just once, not even once. Fuel price remained just at 11 naira for 5 years. And despite that, the guy looted a lot of money. Now, fuel price has gone from 11 naira to 165 naira per liter. And yet, these guys are still complaining. The man did not, I'm not saying he's a good guy, don't get me wrong. I'm saying he did not increase fuel price, but yet he looted so much. And we have been recovering all the money Abacha looted, but nothing to show for it. This administration is a failure. They should be ashamed of themselves. I think what Nigerians need to do now, come 2023, they should not have the chance of being elected.
Let me stay with you for a while. Let me stay with you for a while, Nick. This, as everybody knows, the buck stops on the president's desk. He is the top honcho. You might have 1,001 advisors, but ultimately it's his call. And now the point was made that Mr. President was actually not in agreement with this particular move. But then again, sometimes collective decisions have to be made. That was my take on, well, if Mr. President was not involved, why didn't he put his foot down and say, no, absolutely not, carry on? But that he yielded, that must indicate that he studies the matter, he has studied the matter, he has looked at it, and has decided that there is something of a way in this way if the Nigerian people are indeed the object of this whole move, if it is their welfare at the end of the day.
As you and I know, the president is not running for re-election. So at this point, he really don't care. I mean, even when he was running for re-election, he really didn't care. Saying he was not, he's not okay with the suspension of subsidy removal, it tells you the heart of the man in the first place. The man is not in touch with the average Nigerian on the street. The man cannot even comprehend. Look at interviews that
Dr. Felix, says, how can you say that the president doesn't understand the issues? I don't know why you said that. That's a problem.
The president does not understand the issue. You can see it when he's been asked questions. The man is of age. He should not have been elected in the first place. The man does not understand. He cannot comprehend. Okay. These guys do not care about the average Nigerian on the street. Now, we have to just fix fact. We have to just tell it like it is.
Okay, Nick, okay, I hear you, Nick.
How do you plan? How do you intend?
Your opinion, I hear that. You couldn't have been clearer. It's your opinion. I hear that now. Let me... Okay, Nicholas,
shame to them.
Back to you in New York. What if the president reportedly was actually against the proposal, but nevertheless, with his permission, we have it. But at least we know that if it had been up to Mr. President, we wouldn't have gone like that. Wouldn't that be sort of... couldn't you sort of link that to the idea that there is nothing wrong with subsidy? Countries do it. However, the circumstances will differ. I mean, there is subsidy in the U.S. where you're at, to speak some Americanism, especially in the agriculture sector. It goes on all over the place. So we've heard from experts that on its own, subsidy isn't, quote unquote, criminal. But in Nigeria, because of the situation on the ground, because of the difficulties, the cost of living and all of that, we are in a very precarious situation. So the wisdom of those people is that this is going to get tighter because we use petrol for, as you know, transportation. There's no metro line, there's no nothing. So suddenly from this place where we're broadcasting from this place to CMS, it's going to begin to cost maybe 1,000 naira, which nobody can afford really. Hello. Okay. So you're probably wondering what's the question in there. I'm sorry about that. So what I was thinking was that Mr. President might have been thinking that subsidy is not necessarily wrong and that he is prepared to be the strong man. My speculation now. If you people are going to be soft about it, rather than be strong and then we enjoy ourselves much longer after this, that was his opinion, but he deferred to his team. How about that as an idea?
Now, one of the reasons they claim they want to remove subsidy is the fact that subsidy is criminal. Subsidy benefits the rich. In as much as you can say that, but in Nigeria, you cannot, in attempt of punishing the rich, end up throwing the poor masses under the bus. There are better ways to go after these guys to fight corruption. He claims he's the author and the man who can fight corruption. That's been one of his claim. But at the end of the day, the thought of even removing subsidy. I mean, he's allowing me. Right now, fuel is about 165 per liter, and now you jump to 300. That's twice the price it was before. At the end of the day, I wanted to think about inflation in Nigeria. I wanted to think about the hunger in Nigeria.
Which is what Bala said.
What we should be focusing on, the question is, why are our refineries not working? Why is the Port Harcourt refinery not working? Oil is our main source of income in Nigeria. To think of the fact that in 2022, the largest black nation in Africa, who is supposed to be the king of Africa, we don't have refineries. Our refineries are not working. I want you to think about this. This is shameful to our nation. It's shameful to the past administration. It's shameful to this administration.
Does it help? Sorry, Nicholas. Does it help that the Dangote refinery is coming on stream, presently? Does it help?
No, it's going to help, but don't forget, I was thinking about this yesterday. Dangote refinery can refine over 500,000 barrels a day. And if you put all our 3 refineries together, it's not even up to that of Dangote. And yet no one is working. Here is my question. And here's the question I want to ask everyone in government. If a single man can open a brand new refinery, you should be ashamed of yourself that a whole nation like Nigeria, none of our refineries are working. They should be ashamed of themselves. Okay. And to think of asking the citizens to vote them in, this is crazy, is abnormal. That a nation like Nigeria, the largest nation, we're supposed to be the king. We don't have a career. Ordinary Akwa Ibom, it may be local, they have a career. We don't have a career. South Africa has one. Ethiopia has one. Many other African nations, they have a career. There's nothing working in Nigeria. Years ago, we used to go to Nitel to make up. Where is our telecommunication system in Nigeria? Everything is going down. And for these guys to be coming back asking for re-election, they should be ashamed of themselves. Okay. And I'm saying,
okay, Dr. Nicolas Felix, thank you very much. But let me just your final question in this form. First of all, this is good news to most Nigerians. It is good news that we can, breathe out. In June, beyond, we can continue with our lives. But for how long do you think that is going to be tenable or feasible, given what our situation is? How much longer do you think we're going? Because they're saying that we can't afford, to pay a deregulated price. And yet, I don't know. Are you one of those who say that government's business is to continue to work at the welfare of the people?
Of course, that's why they are elected. It's government for the people and by the people. Everything the government think about, every policy should be to benefit the citizens. But unfortunately, that's not what you see in Nigeria. It's the opposite. Now, subsidy should not be removed until there is a permanent solution. And what is the solution? Our refineries should be up, the 3 of them, and not just that, the government should be building new refineries. Oil is our main source of income. So if they're going to put attention to it, they have to get our refineries up. When the Port Harcourt refinery is up running, then the first phase of subsidy removal can go into a phase. The last time I was on air, I suggested that there should be several phases. Once the first phase goes in, then they can remove the first subsidy removal. At the end of the day, it will not affect the Nigeria populace. Now, understand this, that think about, I give an analogy. This is what Nigerians are doing. Let me make it clear for the average Nigerian listening to me. We have cassava, for example. What we do now, imagine you harvest your cassava, we go to the farm, we get our cassava, we send them abroad. And at the end of the day, they'll come back, bring fufu back to us, they'll bring gari. Do you think if that is what is going on in our agricultural sector, you think cassava gari will be cheap as it is now? So the thought of it that we are sending our crude oil abroad and refine, bringing it back, it makes it's insane to think that 2022, in this developed era, that's what's going on. So the first phase, they should not think of removing subsidy until there is a permanent solution. And the only solution is not Dangote refinery. The solution is bringing up the government refinery, the one in Port Harcourt, Kaduna, and Warri, and think of building new refineries. And
okay.
let me also say this. For our economy to increase, the government need to work on getting investors. Nigeria do not manufacture anything. Not even toothpick do we produce. Ordinary toothpick, we send them abroad. Can you imagine, when we have the people, we have the number, they should do better than what they are doing now.
Thank you very much, Dr. Nicolas Felix, economist and policy analyst. Thank you for making the time to join us this morning.
Thank you for having me.
Our pleasure.